Well, happy Wednesday, everybody, and good morning. It is another week of opportunity, another week of sunshine. Hopefully you're getting some sunshine where you're at, and our month of thanks. So love November, and so glad that we are in this month. For those of you who are joining for the first time, my name is Claudia Cometa. I am a pharmacist and independent skincare consultant, and I come here every Wednesday around this time to give you some tips and tricks to achieve the best skin of your life. So I figured I would pop on before, kind of in between meals, because I'm going to talk about blemishes and why you should avoid popping them. So hopefully this is not impacting anybody's consumption of breakfast or lunch. So I've talked a little bit about acne before, specifically why blemishes appear to get worse when you start treatment. I've also talked about some ingredients in skincare regimens specifically targeted to acne, but I haven't talked about why you shouldn't pop pimples. And I really feel strongly that to change a behavior, just saying because I said so doesn't always inspire change. So I thought I'd tell you why you shouldn't pop pimples, and maybe that will help you or somebody that you know to stop that habit, if that's a habit. So, and it really is a habit for a lot of people. So what happens when you pop a pimple? So when it comes to a head, a lot of people have that urge to pop it. A lot of times it's literally just a habit and an urge. Sometimes people actually think that it's gonna help the process, and it really doesn't. It really does hurt the process, and here is why. When you pop that pimple, you have pores all around that blemish that may not be infected with the acne-producing bacteria. And when you pop the pimple that contains debris as well as oil and specifically bacteria, when you pop that, you are exposing all the skin around that to that bacteria. So you are potentially spreading your blemishes further than you thought. So first is worsening of acne. Second is your hands are dirty. I mean, we just naturally have bacteria on our hands, especially when we're in environments that are germ-ridden. Maybe that's a gym, it could be a daycare. If you're in an environment where there's a lot of bacteria, when you're popping a pimple, you could be exposing that blemish to bacteria beyond just the acne-producing bacteria, and you may be, depending on how you were popping that pimple, pushing it down into that pore even deeper. That's going to result in redness and inflammation and potentially scarring. So if you were to let that blemish run its course, which I know is super difficult to refrain from that for some people, but if you were to let that blemish run its course, you'd be looking at somewhere between 3 and 7 days. If you pop it, you may be looking at a lot worse of a situation. So you might be looking at scarring that is really difficult to go away. It might be a scar forever. You might be looking at a worsening of acne because of that. So try to avoid popping your pimples. Please spread the word, no pun intended. Feel free to share this video. In addition, of course, it's always important to have a comprehensive approach to acne as far as skincare goes. So we have moved away from the 90s and earlier than that in the 80s and early 90s from spot treating. So let's try not to spot treat. Use a comprehensive regimen that tackles all of the key components of acne and avoid popping if at all possible. So have a wonderful week. I hope that was helpful. Please share it if you know somebody who is struggling with that, and I will see you next week.